Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Hole. My name is Cole, and today we're going to talk about the most infamous twee pop band of all time, Scotland's Belle and Sebastian. And this is 1996's If You're Feeling Sinister, a lovely, lovely album. Really cool, really smart indie pop. So I'm excited to share it with you guys. Let's dive in with track number 1, which is called The Stars of Track and Field.
Make a new cult every day to suit your affairs. Kissing girls in English at the back of the stairs. You're a honey with a following of innocent boys. They never know it because you never show it. You always get your way. They never know it because you never show it. You always get your way. Have you and her been taking pictures of your obsessions? 'Cause I met a boy who went through one of your sessions. In his blue velour and silk you liberated a boy I never rated. Now he's throwing discus from Liverpool and witness. You liberated a boy I never rated. Now he's doing business. Stars of track and field you are. Stars of track and field you are. Stars of track and field are beautiful people.
So the part that really spoke to me about this particular song is when he's talking about this girl liberating some guy who's now, a sports guy, and he's become a businessman, he's making a lot of money, he's very successful. And so what I find interesting about that is when a woman is in love with you in your teenage years, that is so impactful on a young man's mind, on a teenager's mind. Because when you're a teenager, you're unsure of yourself, you want to fit in, you want to feel wanted and popular and stuff like that. So to have someone be your girlfriend when you're a teenager is just like an incredible moment as a young person, as a young man. I never had a girlfriend in my teenage years, and I kind of always imagined the confidence boost I would get if I ever had one. Because it means that, yes, you are attractive, you are cool, you are desirable, especially when it's a girl like this who sounds really cool and really hot, really beautiful, right? So this cool, beautiful girl is going out with this guy. He must feel on top of the world. No wonder he is now successful as a businessman. So anyway, it makes me think of these things. But let's move along to track number 2, which is called Seeing Other People.
Could we please be objective? Cause the other boys are queuing up behind us. A hand over my mouth, a hand over the window. Well, if I remain passive and you just want to cuddle, then we should be okay and we won't get in a muddle. Seeing other people, at least that's what we say we are doing. So how are you feeling? I don't think you could be dealing with the situation very well. You take a lover for a dirty weekend, that's okay. When it's over you are looking at the working week through the eyes of a gigolo. Whoa, whoa.
Oh my goodness. I can't imagine being in this situation, right? You've got these two gay men who are engaged in this affair, and they're trying very hard to keep it secret because one of them doesn't want to come out, right? He wants to stay in the closet. And because he's staying in the closet, it's really frustrating his lover, who's totally in love with this guy, who's just wishing and hoping that he'll come out, admit who he is, and just deal with it, right? Deal with the repercussions of coming out. So basically, they've been together for a while, and the guy who's head over heels is just at the point where he's so frustrated and annoyed. He's like, you know what? Just start seeing women, all right? If you don't want to come out, if you don't want to accept who you are, then just stop seeing me. Just start dating girls and live this life of secrecy and shame and frustration, that's going to be the rest of your life. So this poor guy, he's dating this man, and they're both seeing other people, but they both really want to be together, even though one of them is never going to come out of the closet. So anyway, not a fun situation. Let's move along to track number 3, which is called Me in the Major.
To me, me and the Major could become close friends, cause we get on the same trade and he wants to talk, but no, there's too much history, too much biography between us. Me and the Major don't see eye to eye on a number of things. He'll take a guy like me, oh yeah. Me and the Major don't see eye to eye on a number of things. He'll take a guy like me and put him in the army, cause the Queen's own army makes a man of me. Understand and he doesn't try. He knows there's something missing and he knows it's you and I. We're the younger generation who grew up fast. All the others did drugs. They're taking it out on us. They're taking it out on us. They're taking it out on us.
So what I thought was interesting about this song is he's talking about, me and the Major can become close friends because we go on the same train together, right? And that really spoke to me because it's very true in the sense of like, one of the big reasons why you would go to a private boarding school or you would go to some place like Yale or Harvard or Princeton is, yes, on one hand, you get the degree, you get the great education, and that's amazing. But really, you're meeting the sons and daughters of really powerful, wealthy people, influential people who can really help you out in your life, right? So this guy being on the same train as this important major, and he's becoming friends with this guy, he's opening up connections, these networking possibilities that might really actually help him out in the future. That's basically why you go to certain colleges. I mean, yes, a Harvard degree can open a lot of doors for you, but also, more importantly, is the people you befriend in college, right? The people that you know in college are kind of the people who really dictate where your life goes. Because I've known certain people in my life who weren't very smart. They didn't get good grades, but they joined a fraternity where a lot of sons of wealthy and famous people were a part of. And because of that, now they have an amazing job and they're making a bunch of money. So good for him. He knew exactly how to play the game. So anyway, that's what this song makes me think of, is knowing the right people, or rather being in a position where you can know the right people, is very, very powerful. So anyway, that's track number 3. Let's move on to track number 4, which is called Like Dylan in the Movies.
Faces kissing men like a long walk home when the music stops. Take a tip from me, took her to the park when you're on your own. It's a long walk home. Well, if they follow you, don't look back. Like Dylan in the movies, on your own. If they follow you, it's not your money that but they're after, boy, it's you.
Yeah, so this song really makes me appreciate being a male in the sense that being a woman and trying to be on your own, being very self-sufficient and independent, you know, you can only do so much. You can't go out at night and walk through the park and not expect to be hit on or at the worst, raped and murdered, right? You can't do everything that guys can do. So even if you are a very feminist, very courageous and independent woman, there are many things that you just can't do because society sucks and men suck and men can be horrible, horrible people to women, right? I mean, not all of us, of course, but there are definitely way too many guys out there who are bad news bears, as they say. So I just imagine this is about a woman who is a little bit too proud in the sense that she's going to go walk through the park at night on her own because she wants to prove a point. She wants to prove that she can do anything she wants, even if it's not realistic given society. So she's probably going to get raped and murdered, you know, I would imagine at some point. Or at the very least, she's going to get in trouble. So anyway, it makes me appreciate all of the benefits of being a male, all of the things that I can do that a lot of women can't because they're afraid and they have a right to be afraid and they should be because men can really be awful people. But anyway, let's move along to track 5, which is called The Fox in the Snow.
Fox in the snow, where do you go to find something you could eat? 'Cause the word out on the street is you are starving. Don't let yourself go hungry now. Don't let yourself grow cold. Fox in the snow. Where do you go to find someone who will do? To tell someone all the truth before it kills you. And listen to your crazy laugh before you hang a right and disappear from sight. What do they know anyway? You read it in a book. What do they know anyway? You read it in a book tonight.
Yeah, this is a very beautiful song. I love the sound of it. And I kind of imagine it's the same woman who, you know, is really struggling in life. She's not making money. Maybe she's even kind of, you know, just staying at her friends' on her friends' couches and things like that. But she's very proud. She's very independent. She doesn't want to be seen as weak. You know, there's a guy, it sounds like she's dating, and the guy is starting to notice the fact that, like, you know, she's always like, oh, I'm not hungry when they go out because she doesn't want to make the guy pay. And, you know, because guys are kind of expected to pay more or less. She doesn't want to be put on the spot, you know, financially for certain things. So her boyfriend is starting to notice that there are certain things that are off about her, you know, because she's struggling in life and she's too proud to ask for help, right? She's probably never asked for help in her entire life. And it sounds like this guy really loves her and really wants to help her out and be there for her and provide for her, you know, but it's a really hard thing for her to do, to give up some of her pride and dignity and integrity to some degree. So, you know, I can kind of understand. You don't want to ever totally rely on somebody because it sounds like probably, you know, she didn't have the greatest family life growing up. So she's learned never to depend on other people, basically. So that's what this song makes me think about. But anyway, let's move along to track number 6, which is called Get Me Away From Here, I'm Dying.
Get me away from here, I'm dying. Play me a song to set me free. Nobody writes them like they used to, so it may as well be me. Here on my own now after hours. Here on my own now on a bus. Think of it this way, you could either be successful or be us. Without winning smiles and hugs, without catchy tunes or words. Now we're photogenic, you know, we don't stand a chance.
This song makes me really depressed because I imagine what it's like to be a musician who's very, very talented, who knows how to write a catchy tune and writes great lyrics probably, but just given their circumstance, you know, the right people haven't seen them, or they just don't have the right looks, or they just don't have the right attitude that's trendy at the time. So even though they're very talented and they're very good at what they do, it almost doesn't matter, right? Certain other things that are kind of superficial have to be put into place. They have to have someone who believes in them, who's going to put money behind them and market them. You know, so they might get successful, maybe someday, but really, if they don't follow the crowd, it's going to be really hard for them to, you know, make a lot of money and become famous and celebrities and well-known and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I guess Belle and Sebastian as a band never quite became superstars. They're definitely indie superstars, I guess you could say. They're definitely a cult band. I don't know how much money they've ever made, really. I can't imagine it's a heck of a lot. But this song is kind of about them. It's kind of about being frustrated by the fact that, like, even though you're very talented and you put in a lot of hard work and, you know, you're good at writing lyrics, that doesn't really matter in the end, right? Because all these other BS things matter more, like luck and how good you look, and is the sound of your band what's playing on the radio these days, stuff like that, you know. So he's kind of letting out frustration, I would imagine. That's what it makes me think about anyway. But anyway, let's move along to, I forget which song is next, track number 8, which is called Mayfly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sick on a sunny afternoon. You are tired of staying in. You are waiting for a sign. Mayfly woken up when skies are clear. I don't mind you coming near. Give me company till she comes again. You are the one who's making do. I am the one who's privy to. 'Cause you saw him in the park, 'cause you saw him at the bridges with the people in the dark. Okay, now was the start of something big. You are there in the beginning. You are there to see him play. Mayfly woken up when skies are blue. I don't mind the sight of you. Keep me company till she comes again. You are the one who's making do. I am the one who's...
Oh boy, this guy, I feel so bad for him. It sounds like he's head over heels for this girl he's dating, who's kind of like a little bit into it, not really. She's making do, as he says. So like, she kind of sort of likes him, but she's not going to end up with this guy. But unfortunately, he's got a big crush on her. He really loves being with her. You know, she's probably really cute, and they like the same things maybe. But she's not really into it the way he is. You know, she's just kind of like enjoying the ride. knowing that she's going to get off at any point when something better comes along. So she's basically always keeping her eyes peeled for, some handsome Dan, for a better prospect, right? So in the meantime, she's sleeping with this guy and hanging out with this guy. So he's just hoping and praying that one day she'll wake up and actually decide to be with this guy and not to be just temporarily with him, right? It's kind of just like slightly better than a booty call. So this poor guy, maybe the situation was he had a crush on this girl and he asked her out and she was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then they kind of had this okay relationship for a while, but he never really got the idea that she was in love with him, right? But they were still kind of doing stuff together. And it was kind of obvious that she was looking around for a better opportunity. So this poor guy, I feel for him. I've been there before, where you got to leave this girl because she's just going to break your heart, and the longer you stay with her, the more your heart's going to break when it ends. So, I feel for this man. But anyway, the last track I want to talk about is track 10, which is called Judy and the Dream of Horses.
Judy wrote the saddest song. She showed it to a boy in school today. Judy, where did you go wrong? You used to make me smile when I was down. Judy was a teenage rebel. She did it with the boy when she was young. She gave herself to books and learning. She gave herself to being number one. Judy, I don't know you if you're gonna show me everything. Judy, I don't know you if you're gonna show me everything. Judy got a book at school. She went under the covers with a torch. Fell asleep till it was morning. She dreamt about the girl who stole a horse. Judy never felt so good except when she was sleeping. Judy never felt so good except when she was sleeping, yeah.
Yeah, I just love this song because this poor young lady, it sounds like she's trying to be cool and fit in and be this rebel. So she had sex with a guy when they were really young. And I guess that moment really changed her, and she realized this is not who she wants to be. She doesn't want to have to do that to fit in. So ever since that moment where basically she felt used and maybe abused, she's turned to reading and to doing really well in school, to writing songs and trying to be number one, right? She's realized that she doesn't want to try to be the cool kid anymore, because being the cool kid is not actually who she really is. Because she got a taste for that kind of life, right? The having sex when you're in your teens kind of life and trying to be the cool popular girl. And she realizes that's not who I am, right? And I think that's a wonderful experience in the sense of it's important to know who you are, and it's unfortunate that she had to experience that to find out who she was. But it's a goal for everyone to get a better sense of who they are, right? In my own life, growing up in high school and middle school and stuff, I didn't know who I was. I was trying to be cool and fit in, so I did things just to try to be popular. But when I did them, I didn't feel better, right? I felt worse. I felt like this isn't who I am. And over the years, through experiences like that, I just got closer and closer and closer until I really figured out what I'm all about. Who is Cole exactly? What do I like? What do I dislike? What won't I do? What will I do socially? So I just imagine a young lady who's finding herself, and she tried out the rebellious thing for a while, and she found out it's not really who she was, so she's not going to do it anymore. And this guy, this guy who's been eyeing her in school, has seen the change, and he's curious. He's like, I wonder why she's not rebellious anymore. She used to be totally different, So it's from his perspective. But, I like this song quite a bit because it's very important to, reach that point in your life where you know who you are, even if it takes a long time. It's worth pursuing. So anyway, good for this girl. She's getting closer and closer to being her true self, which is very wonderful. But anyway, so that's the album. A really lovely indie pop, twee pop type album. It's probably the best in the genre, in my opinion. But anyway, I hope you thought it was interesting. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know, as per usual, what you thought about it. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out. But yeah, that's Belle and Sebastian for you. Check them out and have a good one.